Because we are short of time, completely cutting across to our panelists this evening. Rajat Sethi, political commentator; Ashutosh, political analyst; Ratan Sharda, author and analyst. Mr. Sharda, I want you to just weigh in on the statement that was made today by, the RSS leader. What do you reckon? Was he trying to suggest that religion has, that terror has a religion clearly? Or was he trying to suggest that no matter what religion the terrorist comes from, he should not be allowed a place to rest and should not be glorified in death? What was the suggestion here?
First of all, before we get into dissecting Indreshji's statement, let us put a few things about him in perspective so you know from where he comes. He's a lifelong pracharak who has given 8 years of his prime of life in Jammu, Kashmir. And he went to various homes. He's the one who got guns in the hand of people to protect their lives against terrorists. And he very clearly said, even in 90s to Sudarshan ji, that every Muslim is not in India hating in Jammu, Kashmir. Every Muslim is not anti-Hindu and anti-India. And Sudarshan ji said, why did you work with them? That is the reason why Muslim Rashtriya Manch was established. And he's been working with Muslim Rashtriya Manch as a patron for all these years. So he has been ridiculed. He has been often criticized for his stand, both by ultra-left and the secular jihadis. In that situation, what he says makes a lot of sense because he has worked with those people. And why we are touchy about it, I don't know. When terrorist says that I have a religion, I'm going to kill you if you don't belong to my religion, why are we denying him the right to say what he wants to say? We are like saying, Beta, tumko pata nahi hai, tum galat ho, tum mazhab ke liye nahi maar rahe ho. All he said is this. So when we say every Muslim is not terrorist, very right. But 99% of terrorists are Muslims. So Muslim society with whom you are sitting when he talked about that has to introspect and has to support the people who actually are modern Muslims who want to work for the betterment of the society, be in the mainstream. I just got a call from a Muslim worker who wanted to protest against the Kashmir killings and who wanted also to speak, educate his fellow Muslims about Waqf bill. And the police in Mumbai didn't allow him. If this is the way you treat those Muslims who want to work with the mainstream and want to educate their own people well, what do you expect from the common society? What do you expect from the common champion seculars? That is my doubt. And this is bitter truth. That time has come when somebody says, I have the religion is the reason for this terror, then you must question the person, you must question the people who believe that.
So your time is up. I'll circle back to you. I want to go across to Ashutosh, who's joining us. Ashutosh, do you concur with what Ratan Sharda said, that the intention was not at all to connect religion with terrorism, but was very different than what it is portrayed to be?
See, Preeti, first of all, let me say this, because Muslim Rashtriya Manch is not a part of the RSS organization. This is what RSS has told almost a few years back in 2016 on 1st July. So anything that Indresh is saying is a part of the RSS, I do not know whether they should decide among themselves. The second point is important is, I think this is the time when we should see to it what Pakistan wants. Whether the Pakistan wants disharmony between Hindus and the Muslims, whether the Pakistan, through the terrorist organizations, had tried to create a disharmony through the Pahalgam, or what Army Chief Munir is saying, that India, Hindus and Muslims are the two nations. What the Pakistan government has retaliated after the India proposed the taken the 5 steps. They said that today Pakistan, Qaeda-Azam Jinnah stands vindicated because Hindus and Muslims are two nations. So I think there is a whole pattern what Pakistan wants through Pahalgam. They want that in India there should be a Hindu-Muslim disharmony. If we are going to harp on this particular issue, then we are going to trap ourselves. The issue is terrorism, and terrorism has no religion. If the terrorism has a religion, that what was the religion of Nathuram Godse? Let's forget it. What I'm trying to say is that terrorism has to be dealt with strong hand. We believe that the Prime Minister and his cabinet will decide a calculated, decisive act which will teach Pakistan. Let's not meddle with the Hindu-Muslim binary. If we meddle with the Hindu-Muslim binaries, then we will be playing in the hands of the Pakistan, and this is what the Pakistan wants through this particular act. These terrorists, they should be taught a lesson, and we in India should keep ourselves and let the government of India and the armed forces do their job.
All right, I want to cut across to Rajat Sethi as well. Rajat Sethi, I would reckon Ashutosh trying to suggest, yes, the nature of the terror attack was deeply communal, where Hindus were practically hunted out. But in the aftermath, should that be communal? Should debates of whether terrorists have a religion or whether, this was communal in nature wait, and we should practically unite as Indians first?
These are not mutually exclusive terms, Preeti ji. Nobody here sensible enough is going to say that all Muslims are terrorists. But certainly all the terrorists that conducted this dastardly act were Muslims. Therefore, the onus, the responsibility of ensuring that the religion is not stapled together with this act of terrorism lies with the Muslim and Muslim intelligentsia of our country. And this is why I want to appreciate, of all people, Asaduddin Owaisi, our member of parliament. Look at the kind of words that he used. This kind of a language we expect, and therefore the burden of proof is on the Muslim community this time. And he and many other Muslim scholars, Muslim intellectual figures from our society, from our country stood up and said that we will not allow these people who misused Islam to staple Islam together with their terror activity. So there is a very fine line. You need to understand that. Nobody is saying that all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims. The onus is on the Muslims, and the Muslim community leaders, at least some of them, stepped up and they ensured that the air is cleared, that this literalist interpretation of Quran, this literalist interpretation of the Pakistani journal, the way it was used to indoctrinate and try and create these terrorists and unleash them on India, they do not meet their end objective. And I think this is where, I don't go by what Ashutosh ji's simplistic assessment is. Oh, there is no religion of terror. No, absolutely not. There was a religious angle which was brought in deliberately by these terrorists to give in a color, to of course also buttress the point that yes, our religion stands for so-and-so by certain literalist interpretation of these Mujahideen gangs that operate out of Pakistan. Now, this fine line of difference should not again be conflated between a murder that was created by Nathuram Godse to terrorism, which is a systemic attack that has been happening for years.
Rajat, your time is up. I'll come back to you. I'm going to go back. I'm going to a 1 minute window each, and I will give that 1 minute first to Ashutosh because this is a 2:1, and I'll go back to Mr. Sharda after that. So, Ashutosh, to bring you in on this with what Rajat Sethi said, maybe to correct that a bit, terrorists in this attacks were Muslim. Sadly, also the kind of terrorist attack that India has faced in the past mostly have been Muslim. Yes, not all terrorists are Muslim. Where you look at an international board, you have Norway where there have been right-wing extremists or other Nordic countries there. But what do you agree with what Rajat Sethi, the submission he made?
I do not agree even a bit of it. What about the Khalistan movement? Were there Muslims, Islamic jihadists? No. So this is the problem with the whole ideology, that they can only see things only through a binary of Hindus and Muslims. That's all. Tell me, the biggest terrorist attack were done by these Khalistanis, and look, Indira Gandhi had to be martyred. The issue is before in Kashmir, the Hindus were identified in Punjab. They were taken out from the buses. They were killed at the point blank range. Who was killing them? Were the Muslims? Were the Islamists? Were the jihadists? What about the Irish movement? So this is the easy way out, and that is my problem with this ideology. They cannot see beyond the Muslim chashma. So and this is a kind of an ideology which plays in the hands of the Pakistan. And today, for the God's sake, let's not do Hindu-Muslim.
Fair point.
Because
okay.
that will
I want to go back to Ratan Sharda. Sir, I'll come back to you. I'll circle back to you. Ratan Sharda, the question then emerges, should, Indresh Kumar, have waited before he weighed in on something which is an extremely sensitive topic? Are we playing into the hands of the terrorists who practically wanted exactly that? Maybe take the line of what Mohan Bhagwat said, where he said, give a befitting response and not weigh in on the religious nature of this attack.
Don't try to play Mohan Bhagwat ji and Indresh Kumar ji, and don't try to play with the statements. Both have their own place in the statement they have made. I'm not here to defend Indresh ji. I've told you the background from which he comes from. He works with the Muslim community all these years. Whether the MRM is part of RSS or not, that's a different issue. But Indreji works with them and he knows them very well. Secondly, it is not just India. Across the world, these terrorists, 99% belonging to Muslims, have been and running on jihadi ideology, have been creating havoc all over the world, right from Africa to Europe to West, everywhere. But we will keep on denying. We'll keep on denying because we want to not allow fodder to Pakistanis. Is that the reason that we will keep quiet about the nature of this kind of attacks, the hate that they spread? Now, you cannot have harmony without bitter truth being reconciled. It's a historic wound. We'll keep on hiding it. We'll keep on putting band-aid on that. Unless we sit together and face the past with a very brave face and say, okay, this is what happened. We disown everything what has happened earlier. We will move on a fresh path. Have we done that?
So your time is up.
Because we defend.
Your time is up.
No.
I'm sorry, there's equal time given to all people. And nobody's trying to play in on anybody's statement. I'm a journalist. It's my job to ask questions, which I continue to do. 1 minute each to Ashutosh and 1 minute again to Rajat Sethi. Ashutosh, you want to go first, and then I'll close with Rajat Sethi. Last submission, sir.
No, I think the best is let's leave it to the government of India. And I think the Prime Minister and the Cabinet and CCS is meeting. They will decide. And I hope that they will not look issues through the Hindu-Muslim binary. Pakistan is a rogue state. Pakistan is suffering from some psychological schizophrenic problems. And Pakistan is going to suffer. Pakistan is already on the verge of being balkanized. Pakistan is already on the verge of economic ruin. And any action should not be for the vote bank. The action should be to teach Pakistan a lesson that Pakistan should desist from doing something like this in the future. That should be the bottom line. And if we look at from the emotional point of view that the Hindus were killed. Yes, Hindus were killed. I am also Hindu. You are also Hindu. Our blood also boils. But the issue is this is what Pakistan wants. So let's leave it to the government. Let's leave it to the security establishment. Okay. And I hope and I pray that they will teach a lesson to the Pakistan. Pakistan will never do something like this ever in future.
All right. I'll give 1 minute to Rajat Sethi. Rajat Sethi, closing submission, sir.
Well, again, let's not try and conflate this issue of Islamic terrorism, which has been instrumentalized and taken to another hilt by Pakistan. It has happened in the past. It will continue to happen till we do not address the elephant in the room. This fault line that exists within India is being used by Pakistan. And therefore, if we all have to come up above this fault line, the only way to do that is us as Indians can come together. Now, that burden of who will do that heavy lifting in this specific case, since Hindus were identified on the basis of religion, underlying religion, therefore the burden, the extra mile will have to be walked by the second majority religion, which is the Islamic. And this is why I said I appreciate what Owaisi has said, because he came from the bottom of the heart, because he understood the game plan that Pakistan is trying to play. Pakistan has instrumentalized Islam to meet its end objectives, but it needs to be handled and dealt with proper care without brushing the things under the carpet and not addressing.
Well, the time is up. I appreciate all three guests for joining us.